bitch. Little bitch. I got demons in my hand, they won't go. Demons in my no. Shit. Pips. Yo, gang. Hello, my peeps. How are you? What up, gang? I got a new webcam, 4K streaming now. What up? Marcus, Isaac, how are you, bros?
Ready.
What's up, dude? this breakdown going. All right. We just broke a massive uptrend, right? Tap, 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 broke. We just broke a massive trend. We came back, we retested, and now we're breaking back below. We came back, retested the previous support, turned it into a resistance, and now we're coming back down. Rejected, closed back above, faked out, closed back below, attempted a retracement, failed, and now we're driving back down. We have a minor level here. It's going good, bro. Everything is going well. Top wicks on both previous 4 hours. No bottom wicks on these 4 hours. Our hourly has closed above, faked out, closed back below. This current hourly came back, grabbed orders at this previous high, closed back into range. See what we can do here. See if we can get a closure below, pull back, and then a re-break, and we can take the continuation down maybe. Targeting these levels here. 30-minute no bottom wick and hourly no top wick. Generally, if this hourly had a top wick and this 30-minute had a top wick, I would have a re-break of the low here for sells. What up, dude? Money printer on the weekly, sort of. Oof, holy shit, what a beautiful pullback right back into range. And if we zoom in here, we're gonna be within this weekly range here. I would like a pullback for a top wick on the daily before continuing down. What up, Annie? What's good? You can't hear me? There should be no delay. What time do I got there? I got 35:13, 35:20, 35:18, 35, no, about a 6-second delay. This 4-hour gap down massively. We closed respecting. We might be seeing a pullback before the continuation. If we don't see that pullback before the continuation, we'll see a higher time frame closure outside of the range, higher time frame closure outside of this range. Hilarious. My dog's been begging my girlfriend for something, and she's been ignoring him, and this fucker goes all the way upstairs, climbs up on top of the bed, looks at me, begs me for the same thing, and then I just look at him and I shake my head, and then he walks away and just dips. It's hilarious. This used to be a sell setup of mine. Even without a bottom wick, I would be looking for rebreaks of the lows. How's it been for you guys? Been gone for a little bit. Took a little break. Yeah, I was really overwhelmed. I was working like 50, 60 hours and then streaming like another 20 and then still trading a few hours before I go to work. Hey, I appreciate you, Santos. I haven't traded my live account in a couple of weeks. I'm basically stuck in 2 positions, full leveraged on my account. So I'm just waiting for gold to continue dumping. From where I was at, if I get a 10% dump within the next couple of months, I'm good. It's dropped 3% since then, but still I have a sell limit, basically a TP, just an open order actively every day, and nobody's fucking buying it. No, I'm on still doing some option contracts on Robinhood. I did decent with the QQQ ones that I had. So I figured I can do the same kind of play on gold, but I tied up all my money in some bad contracts, so I just have to wait until they expire basically. So either they're gonna expire a little bit in I think like minus 50% loss, but then that'll free up half the account so that I can take another trade. I just chose really bad contracts that nobody's willing to buy. This is a tough spot here. This is a setup. It depends whatever you're already comfortable trading with, but there's nothing wrong with being conservative and spending 30 bucks on a 50K. Taking your time, passing it, activating it for 150. Or if you buy an instant, depending on how much money you're willing to spend, the 100K instants aren't bad. But you would have to like really take your time. The instants are pretty straight. Hey, Alex Chung pulled up 3 days ago and followed me when I wasn't even streaming. I appreciate you, bro. I'm glad you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. This industry is very, very difficult and it can kick the shit out of you. Yep, I agree. So because of the fact that we faked out to the upside here and just dumped, I'm assuming we're gonna grab steeper liquidity than here. This is the market open low. We came back, we retested the market open low, and we failed to push off that level. We didn't fail, but we pushed off the level, and now we're consolidating, closing back in range. We filled the gap and rejected it same day. Maybe this doesn't look like a dog. The eyes, a little nose, ears. It looks like a fucking dog. The big dog strat. Got these nose strips on, and bro, I can breathe. This could have been a buy setup. It's not something I normally take. Yeah. And without a bottom wick on the 15. This could have been a buy setup. Why didn't I take that? I wasn't paying attention to the VWAP. Because that 15 no bottom wick. If I had a bottom wick, I would have taken a buy on the flip. What did this push give us? 18 pips. $18 pips for a 20 pip stop loss. That's not bad. See if we can flip bearish and re-break that low. 5-minute close bullish, respecting the range. Let's see what it do here. 8 minutes for this hourly closure. We just dumped here. 5 minutes left for this hourly closure. That 15 flip is nice. What do we reject off of? What's up with Spot? What up, Hank? Spot closed below. Money printer both ways on the 15-minute time frame on Spot. Sort of. I'll be right back. One minute. Hey, Nightbot. Let's see what this candle do. Let's go. Vivchia. Sounds Brazilian. Brazil. Damn. Hourly close respecting. 30-minute close respecting bullish back end range. 30-minute is coming down to make a bottom wick first. Barely any top wick. I need a clear closure below for the continuation down. This is a buy setup that I have, but this is not a key level. It's not a strong enough level to take the buys. So it just makes the sells a little bit more risky. Oh. My bad, bro. I had to kill that fucking mosquito. Alrighty. Looks like those buys would have played out. No. Sadagi. Nice. The wick entry. What a clean entry. Wow. So it definitely was a buy setup. But was it at a strong enough key level for me? Nah. This is the same buy setup I took earlier. Took the entry here. It just happened quicker here than it did here.
Summer without cranking the HVAC.
Damn. What a pump. Might need a steeper top wick on this 4 hour. Let's see what it do here. Whoa. What up, Turco? How are you, bro? What up, big dog? Flipped 7 pips. Shit. What up, Turpy? Seven pips is tough. I might have a sell stop here on the rebreak of the daily low. That activated me. I am in there. Probably on the rebreak of these highs is where I'm calling it quits. I'm looking to probably go break even by these levels here. Well, that's a break-even trade. Well, I was gonna close one of my entries there at 20 pips, but it didn't let me. I guess I'll take the break-even. Stopped out there, break-even. Was that a 5-minute closure below? That was a 5-minute closure below. That's fine. I was too slow there to close any partials. Nice. Beautiful. I was trying to, but I couldn't decide if I wanted to close full or if I wanted to just go break even there and close half the trade. I decided too late. I think I definitely had a chance to close, but I couldn't decide. I was contemplating. It happened a little too quickly. I knew what my break-even point was or where I wanted to manage risk at, but I didn't know if I wanted to go break even there or if I wanted to close full there. I believe when I'm moving like this, I'm better off taking. No, this is still decent movement. This is still decent. This is our first closure outside of the opening range, right? When we opened, we created this range, and this is our first closure outside of that range. Are we gonna fake out and start continuing up to grab orders? Now, from what I know about the VWAP, this is the average order for the day. Anybody that's underneath it is negative. Anybody and anytime price is underneath, people are negative for the day. Anytime it's over, people are positive for the day on average. This is the average order. Tonight, the average order is here. So the average person is losing money. The average person closed the day yesterday losing money. So where are people that are losing a shit ton of money gonna get stopped out at? Probably at the break of these lows. Where would they maybe potentially add more entries at? Maybe at these lows here. It aligns with this level here. So you can start to get an idea of, hey, if people are losing money, where are they most likely going to get stopped out at? Probably somewhere down here. If they are then going to average in and add more to their position, you can start looking to take some profits at these levels where you think people can start adding more to their entries. But if you took a buy here, where would your stop loss be? Probably at the break of this low. This probably made you shit your pants if you were the average person in the market. This is where your average entry would be. You close the day shitting bricks. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I highly appreciate you. One more minute for the 15-minute closure. We're closing back below the range. What up, Lone Trader? Okie dokie, we just closed back below the range. We tapped the level. Our 5-minute is creating a range. We're starting to come back down now. That is a 4-hour flip and a rebreak of the low. Let's be careful here. Previous 4 hour doesn't have a top wick, a bottom wick barely. We came down, grabbed orders. If we flip bullish, we have a lot of strong levels here. Is this Asian session going to be the one to break us out? Or is it going to be the one to consolidate and then maybe flip bullish here and then create a range here before coming down for London? Pips for this wick fill. You survived a huge drawdown from your long position today. Survived is key, brother. I'm gonna market execute a sell here. My stop loss is gonna be these highs up here.
Yo.
What up, dog?
Yeah.
How are you, bro? I'm in a trade right now.
Oh, all right, I just hopped on. Interesting. Interesting. Wait, you're in a buy?
I'm in a sell.
Sell. There's a sell.
I had a position earlier, and we went break even. It stopped us out, and this is our re-entry on the 15-minute
Wait,
close below.
what did this candle do? Did this give any kind of bottom wick before it flipped or no?
We are break even here.
Just showed up.
I think I saw 12 pips, but it filled almost the whole wick, and then it pulled back really quickly there. So I was trying to take some profits at the fill of the wick. Good old closure
You
below.
might be early on the break-even or kind of high.
Say it again?
But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't even looked at the charts yet.
Yeah, we were in on this push down here. Got stopped out break even here, and then this is the re-entry. I might have gone break even a little early twice, but it'd be like that. I saw 20 pips on the last one, but I couldn't decide. I knew the level I wanted to manage risk on, but I didn't decide. Excuse me. Holy shit. Whew. Big hit. I couldn't decide if I was going to just go break even there and let it rock or take partials there. But then once I decided to take partials, it was too late. It already came back and hit break even. I think we entered on the break of the previous of this low here.
As long as you avoided all the drawdown, I think for a pretty good entry here, you just might keep stops at like current 15. Oh, this 15 just started. You're already filling the wick. No, yeah, your break even is solid.
Yeah, that makes sense what you said earlier, to move your stops down to the current candle high instead of to the range high where you had it. Instead of going break even, because sometimes it still just gives you a little bit of drawdown, but it still goes.
Yeah, I think just keep it. It's very little loss. I think yesterday ours would have ran that.
Like, I think right now it would make perfect sense with the way the 5 closed below. Like, it's still showing structure that it's working. This current 5 doesn't have a top wick. A top wick might take me out, but if I move my stops to the previous 5 high, there'd be no reason it should break that high before coming down.
Exactly. There's absolutely no reason to break the previous 5 high. Otherwise, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're banking on the straight thing, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to adjust that.
We've seen gold fuck around. We've seen gold just do weird shit, like come up here, like up to 33.12 and spike down. But like you already have that, right? You already have that spike up, the wicks grabbed, and look at 5, look at 15. There's absolutely no reason to come back up there. And you're clearly wrong if it breaks. Now that it's leaving that area, right? That's what I was saying yesterday. Instead of maybe bringing the stops to be, because it can fill the swift, maybe come back.
Yeah, physical therapy today. My sound is low. How about now? Does it sound better? I'm gonna move my stop loss 1 pip in profit to account for these commissions because these fucking micro commissions are insane. That's beautiful. I'm gonna close one position there, let the other one rock. We're gonna move this. No, we'll leave it how it is. Once we re-break this low, we did. We already re-broke it. There's no reason for this to pull back. I'm gonna wait for another range to be formed, and then I'll move my stops down. I'll trail it down. You could have closed there full at 20 pips. I closed half. I think I got a really good entry. If this were to be the continuation of the trend or the initiation of the trend after everything that it did, it should push here. So then I can trail my stops maybe 20 pips in profit. If not, this is quite the fake out. And we're out before we get faked out. And if it is a fake out and we start to drive bullish again for this 30-minute closure, we would have closed back in range, and that would be pretty interesting if we close back in range on that 30-minute closure. That'd be a wild move. Yeah, it pulled back too quickly. It was 1 pip away from my partial closure at 20. Literally 1 pip away. So I closed partials at like 18. It's straight. The idea that counts. See, like, this is the why the streams are important, because like how Wix was discussing earlier, possibly instead of going break even, maybe the better idea or the better play was to move stops to that 5-minute high. Because for example, right here where I went break even, maybe the better idea was to move stops to these high, because if this 5 were to create a lower high, we can still create a lower high anywhere underneath this range. The trade would still be valid. But because it created the lower high right here, we got saved. But it could have technically created that lower high here if it wanted to, and it would have still been a valid entry. It would have still been a valid trade. So moving stops from the range high to the current candle high, or the previous 5-minute high, would have been ideal, because there's no reason for price to break this level once you create the lower high here and re-break the low. So once you create that lower high here and you re-break that low like it did here, there's no reason for price to break this level. So it's like you could start to trail your stops down as well as your TP, because once price closed below the range, you create a resistance and you re-break that low, there should be no reason why, once we re-break this low and start plummeting down here, there should be no reason why price comes back to this area. And we should be able to trail our stops to these highs. If this isn't a fake out, if it is the proper the move. So if it is the move, we can easily move our stops down 10-15 pips in profit, and then wait for the next leg down and see what happens. See, look right here. It's not an official rebreak of the low, but I'm going to move my stops about 10 pips in profit. 9 is straight. Whatever. But it's 1 pip away. If it does rebreak that low, there should be no reason why it doesn't continue plummeting down. We do have a 30-minute closure coming up. We might create a top wick on the 30 and it might take us out, but we're going to secure 18 pips on the first one and then 10 on this one, 2 half trades. So what would that be? 14 pips total if it pulls back. A pretty good viewers today, bro. 27. I appreciate you guys for showing up, man. You guys are fucking awesome. This should be a quick pop down. I don't see why we take out my runner. Hey, my dogs, Jay and Turpy. Yeah, we're all branches of the DVS family. If this closes back above my break-even point, those buys might be interesting. I don't, yeah. Yeah, we might see a big pullback on this 30 and then refill the wick back down. As long as we don't close back above my break-even point. As long as we don't close back above these ranges here. Whoa, 1 pip away. It got me. All right, beautiful. Closure below, respecting the level that I took buys off of earlier. In order for me to take sells, I would need... I don't even know if I can take sells into these areas. And the sells were wherever I entered. Entering here, you're entering kind of late. You're kind of banking on the continuation and your stops got to be small. If you were to take sells here, you would have to have like fucking stops there. Because if you start to re-break back into this range and close above, you're getting a 4-hour flip bullish again. And then the 4-hour flipping bullish again, or attempting to flip bullish again, would be the money printer on the previous 4-hour. So you don't want to get dookied like that. What is the name of the pair you're trading? Sell it if it's gold. I entered at 33.17. This is the pair that I'm trading. It is micro gold futures. I trade futures because I'm in the motherfucking future. Whip it through the glass. I'm blowing money fast. I entered at 33.17. Already. What are you doing, stupid ass app? Oh, that's not what I'm doing. Not show confirmations. We already took some sales. Is that a good RR for you, bruh? Uno to uno? Same thing. Except I have no spreads. Let's go. That's not gonna work. Let's go. Scale. Am I tripping? I don't have. You don't have your bid and your ask bars? That's hilarious. Burrito, man. Yo, check this out.
But if I were you, or if I were me, and I am me, basically I would say skip the challenge and go straight into instant funding and start making money immediately. Stop passing tests and challenges, showing up to stream just to pass phase 1, phase 2. Cut that shit out. Get an instant funded account, skip the challenge, and trade to make money immediately. It's 55% off.
Money does buy freedom, which equals money does.
Instant fundeds make a lot of sense if you're the type of person that can't pass evaluations first try. If you're taking evals and it takes you 2-3 times to pass one, plus the activation fee, it's costing you the same as just buying one instant funded. You could have just bought the instant funded and taken your time. What are my thoughts on TJR? No comment. Look at this dump. Holy shit. What the fuck? Hourly broke it, breaking the lows. 30-minute is about to break the lows. That's the daily. We're gonna have a sell stop here on the break of the daily lows. How many pips here would be the stop? 78. Wow. Where would TP be though? Where do we fly down from on this 5? It's only 12 pips away. I'm gonna wait for this hourly closure. Maybe just this 15, see what happens. This is a very key level here. You see how we whipped into the level, we didn't close below, then closed back above, respected the level, turned it into support. This candle came down, wicked right almost into the level, failed to drive down, and the flip bullish is when I took my buys. And then the second time we came down and we actually tapped it to the T before taking off and driving 140 pips. So do I really want to take a sell into this level here? Rebreak of the low, 17 pips. I mean, but that's tough. Maybe not. My thoughts on TGR is I don't know. I don't fucking know, bro. So I like to stay away from too much of the social media stuff. Like the flexing, cars, money, da 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 da. I like to watch somebody trade. Because you're in this to trade, right? Yes, cars and houses and all this shit is nice. But you're in here to learn how to trade. You're here to trade, to look at the markets and watch how they work, how someone else does it. If you like something they do, you incorporate it into your own strategy. If you see something that you don't like, you use it as a learning lesson and incorporate that into your own strategy. And say, nah, I don't like the way this guy does this, so I'm not going to do this sort of thing. I see myself accidentally taking those bad trades, thinking the same way that he thinks. So now that I know that that's the wrong way of thinking, I'm going to use that and change my strategy or add to my strategy. Or if you're thinking of something or thinking of an idea and you see that somebody else is already taking that idea, already taking that setup, you're like, huh, maybe there is something to this setup, and you can have more confidence to create your own setup. I got into him with him on Twitter one time. It's cause if you have a young and impressionable audience, he lost like 10 pounds, 20 pounds, I don't know, in like a year, 6 months. Sorry, like 10 pounds. And he was like, oh, hard work and dedication, this, and that. And I commented, I'm like, my brother, that's a transformation that could have been done in 30 days by anybody with actual discipline. But to do that in 6 months just shows that you were persistent, yes, but you weren't disciplined. You were chipping away like 0.00001% a day when your body can handle 10 times that amount. So it's not really an impressive transformation. It's not even mid. It's like low tier transformation. Anybody could have done 3 times that. If you were actually dedicated and actually worked out, you could lose 2% body fat in a month. So like to say, it's like I don't know, it's like benching 135 and then posting it and saying, you see, follow me and I'm going to teach you how to bench 135. Like, brother, my little brother can bench my little brother can bench double that. And then he was like, oh, I did it while smoking and drinking. And I'm like, Papi, didn't you say 3 posts ago that you stopped smoking weed and that you were sober and that when you stopped smoking weed, you leveled up? And now you're making an excuse saying the reason why it took me so long to lose mediocre amount of weight is because I was drinking and smoking. When you were just claiming sobriety. Like, little white lies that you catch on to. As far as trading, I don't know. When he takes a setup and I see a YouTube video on it, the setup looks legit. Definitely looks like a legit setup. Some of the setups he takes, I also take. So, does he understand concepts and what to look for? Yeah. Did he buy his Brabus and all this shit off of trading money? No. That's all off of courses. Then he put all of that course money into a real account and probably started making, you know, $30,000, $40,000 trading in a day type shit. But like, when you see people that trade live on here and actually trade live, do you see them with Lamborghinis? Do you see them with all these supercars? The ones that you do, you seen them trade for like fucking 5 years on stream. Like these ASFX TV guys that trade live on them, like one of them has a fucking supercar. But like they all make a living off of trading and they all live a regular life off of trading. It's the ones that do all that big social media shit that have all those Lambos. They don't really make that off of trading, bro. Somebody did the math and said one of these guys, Doji or Dodgy, had 1,000 paid members and they were paying him $50 a month. And I'm like, damn, so you're making $50,000 a month off of your Discord? Of course you can buy a Corvette cash. I mean, that's a lot of money, dog. So that's why you don't look at the money, you look at the trading. Can you take something from what they're teaching you or what they're doing? Don't look at the Lamborghini and be like, damn, this guy made $100,000 and bought a Lamborghini. He probably didn't. Maybe he made $10,000 trading that day and then made $100,000 selling his course. Maybe he is a pretty good trader, but that Lamborghini ain't off the trading profits. I have the world's neediest dog, dude. Whoever sold at 17, my brother, you're all the way up there. If you're still holding from all the way up there, you're a savage. Taking a sell anywhere down here, of course you would tell me that. You're all the way up here, bro. What up, Nadim? It's Tishuette. What up, big dog? I don't know what Sophie is. This is my first time being here. I love the transparency. What broker do you recommend for futures or Forex? So you could use AMP Futures or Tradeovate. AMP Futures, I think, has an easier barrier to entry. It's easier to make an account much quicker. Tradeovate is a little bit complicated, but it depends what you want to pay for commissions. I think Tradeovate has a commissions package where you pay like a monthly fee and your commissions get really low. Whereas AMP is based off your lot size. The higher your lot size, the less commission they charge you. I think that's how it works. I don't trade anything more than micros across a couple of funded accounts, and then I don't trade on a broker, my live account. I do trade on a broker, but I don't trade on a futures broker. I trade options contracts on the Nasdaq on Robinhood or some gold contracts. I was only doing Nasdaq contracts, but then I decided to do some gold contracts and I fucked that shit up. I'm like, my money's just held up in these trash gold contracts that are gonna expire minus 50%. So I just gotta wait. Nobody's trying to buy them. I was just buying Nasdaq calls with end of the month expiration or end of the week expiration date and just riding these fucking Trump blasts. I think at one point I had a contract that was up $1,800 in like 1 second during news, but I didn't have a limit order, so I didn't know, and I market executed a sell, and it fucking sold it at minus 80 bucks. Instead of having a limit order at that TP where somebody would have taken the order, I market executed, thinking it was the same thing, but it's not when you're doing options contracts. If there's a lot of liquidity, yes, but on mines there was not. I had to do a limit order and see if somebody see if somebody bought it. I like options. Options contracts are fun. And then I like to just put that money into Forex because the ROI is just so much better. Into prop firms. Think about it. If you get an account with $2,000 drawdown, you make 1,000, you make 2,000, you make 3,000, you take a 2,000 withdrawal, you leave 1,000 in the account, you make another 1,000, and then you lose $2,000. If this was your live account, you made 2,000, you withdrew it, and now you just lost $2,000. You're back to $0. You're net zero. You are back to break even. Whereas on the prop firm account, you're up $2,000, and then you buy another instant funded for 300 bucks. So you up, and when you lose another 2,000, you don't really lose 2,000, you lose 300 because you're buying another one for 300, and then you're making 2K on the payout, losing the account usually after how it usually happens, and then you're buying another one for 300. So you're turning 300 into 1,700. In order to do that on a live account, you would need to be risking fucking 100% of the account. Compounding that, it doesn't happen. But if you're the type of person, like, if you look at Dankshire risks like 50% of the account per trade on his live account, live funded accounts. But every 3 or 4 trades, bam, after the consistency rule, within like a week at payout. So within a week, he spent 300 on the account. He took a 2K withdrawal that week, maybe a 1,500. Maybe 1,000, still positive ROI. What brokers do you guys use? Let me see what you guys use. And drop what country you're from as well, because I'm from United States and we're not allowed to use a lot of offshore brokers, so we can only trade futures if we really wanted to trade gold. But if you look at the gold contract, it basically moves very, very similar. I would say like 95% the same, but the price is about $100 off. Maybe $30 off. Zimbabwe. I've been looking at some of these brokers in these other countries and see if I can make an account, throw in $100 and like risk it for news and see if I can flip that shit to like a couple thousand. Yeah, Forex.com for currencies only. And honestly, if you're trading currencies, currency is one of the I don't know why I never learned how to trade currencies. Or why I never tried. Seems like it would be very interesting. What are we rejecting off of 33.10? A sell stop here off the VWAP. This is a good entry here. But am I willing to take it 5 minutes before the 9 o'clock closure? That is the question. Am I willing to risk it? If we break this previous 1 minute high, I'll set a sell stop. I'm gonna have a sell stop. I can't break this high, it's got to dump. If it breaks that high, my idea is not valid anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna delete this. That white line is the hourly support, and now that we're above it, it means we're closing respecting on that hourly. That's why we had to stay below that level. We had to continue closing below. It might drive now, but we'll see. If it gives us a top wick and then a flip bearish, that might be interesting. I'm looking for sells because the trend is going down. Also, the hourly was bearish. The 30-minute was tapping the VWAP here, and then once we got to the VWAP there on the 5-minute time frame, we were starting to form some resistance here. So because we got to this level, we started to form some resistance. We're bearish on the higher time frame. I started looking to see if I can take top wick sells off of this level here, because the possibility of a rejection here is high, because this is the VWAP here. Damn, it's just bouncing right back and forth. This could be a level where we reject. I mean, we still didn't close above or break below. That sell stop is probably still valid. That hourly closed below, and yeah, that sell stop was still valid. Damn. That was extremely valid, and that gave us 27 pips in literally less than 20 seconds. Okie dokie, artichoke. Yep, as long as we didn't break this high, that was 100% valid. And then I was looking for my stops to be just above that high, but this is kind of like a newer entry for me. So I would have most likely had stops up here at 40, and then that would have been probably a full closure at 31, almost a 1-to-1. I would have hit TP immediately. It would have probably been once it hit right here, break even, and then once we broke that second line. So let's see. Yeah, 30-minute respecting. This is tough. This is gonna be the breakout to get us to drive down here. A lot of volume in 2 minutes. We're failing to break here. Yeah, that was my last idea. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna call it here, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Same time. I'm gonna need a steeper top wick on the hourly because this closed respecting the 30-minute close bullish back in range. I'm gonna need a steeper top wick on the hourly. The idea was to catch that 30-minute top wick because we barely have any wicks to the downside here. And now that we came all the way back down, retested that support, it could go anywhere now. I have no idea where we can go next. We can literally bounce off this and start coming up here to grab orders here before coming back down, or we can start continuing down, but we're going to need to come down, create a range, try to break back above, fail, and then re-break the low, and then maybe I can take sells into these levels here for like another 30 pips before, but I would have to confirm that we're actually going to break these levels here. So this is what I would be looking for, to sells into here. So I would be looking for something like this. But this would probably take like another 30-45 minutes, maybe an hour to form. This will probably take a couple hours to form. So we're just kind of bouncing back and forth here. I think all the ideas were good. Probably should have left the sell stop there. I should have said if we break that high, officially it's gone. But I anticipated the break of the high, but it never really did break the high. It just kind of tapped it. So it was still pretty valid. I guess I'm going to keep an eye out on that next time. But take it easy, gang. I appreciate you guys for showing up. There was 30 of you guys tonight. You guys were the fucking shit. We caught 15 pips on the first trade, break even on the second, or break even on the first trade, 15 pips on the second trade. Our runner got stopped out at 10 pips, and then we closed full on the first half at 20 pips. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Was gonna leave stream open for a little bit, but I'm gonna